Here is a broadcast by Bob Brown for the Australian Greens for the 2010 federal election.
G'day, I'm Bob Brown. I'm the leader of the Australian Greens and couldn't be happier because we are the fastest growing party in Australia. We're the Progressive Party, we're the Environmental Party, and we've got economic responsibility written into our record. But we're also the party of ideas. Ideas like high-speed rail, ideas like a universal dental healthcare system, like treating asylum seekers to this country with the generosity that we pride in a national motto of a fair go. The Australian economy is very important to the Greens, and I can point to our record. In 2009, when this nation faced recession, the Coalition said no to the Rudd government's $42 billion stimulus plan. We Greens said yes. We made it a better plan. We created tens of thousands of extra jobs. We ensured local government had more money to put back into job creation in rural and regional Australia. One great nation-building idea for Australia that we're promoting is high-speed rail. Trains travelling at more than 340 kilometres an hour between our great capital cities, like Brisbane to Sydney to Canberra to Melbourne. That's an idea the other parties have voted down in the Senate, but the Greens will continue to pursue that idea because it's coming to Australia. If Saudi Arabia, China, Argentina can be building these trains now, this country should be right there too. I was a general practitioner, so I know that good teeth means good health. But in this country, right now, there are 500,000 people on queues for dentists. So we Greens would bring in a universal dental healthcare system, Denticare, to get rid of the queues and to make sure everybody's got ready, quick, cheap access to good dental healthcare. Australia's a warm-hearted country and believes in a fair go. Sometimes you wouldn't think so. Our politicians let us down. People coming to this country in wooden boats are fleeing persecution. They deserve their legal rights. Sure, if they're not genuine, send them home. But most are and should be helped to become happy, productive citizens in this great country of ours. The Greens are the environmental party, and when it comes to climate change, we're the party of action. That's why we've put forward the idea of a carbon price, that's a carbon tax, so that the polluters pay, not you. And the billions of dollars coming from that tax can green up our economy to create tens of thousands of jobs and to give us a secure future rather than climate change. Many election watchers say that the Greens will win the balance of power in the Senate at this election. I hope so, and you can help make that happen. But there's a real alternative. That is, the Coalition wins control of the Senate and the Gillard government's return to the House. That's a recipe for deadlock. That would be bad for Australia. So this election, think carefully. Give Australia the way forward. Give it a working Senate, give it a productive Senate, give it a Senate which gives you a dividend. I've been working hard in this Parliament and will do so in the next to ensure that important private members' bills get up. Bills like ensuring death with dignity, that is euthanasia laws as they have in many European countries and US states. Also, getting rid of those really annoying unnecessary bank fees, like the $2 toll you pay if you go to an ATM which is not your bank. Not allowed in the UK, shouldn't be allowed here. Like giving us another opportunity to vote for a republic. I'm lucky I went to a good country public school. And we Greens are the champions of education. We want to see more money going into education so that our children in public schools, and that's most of them, have the same opportunity as children going to the best private schools in this country. The Greens have worked constructively with the government to get parental leave, but we want to see the 18 weeks increased to 26 weeks with superannuation because that's the best outcome, not just for parents, but especially for the infant. In the last Parliament, the Greens worked hard with the Rudd government to get rid of discrimination on the basis of sexuality from all federal law, but there remains one exception. Julia Gillard says no to same-sex couples who want to marry. Tony Abbott says no. Well, I say yes. We Greens will continue to work in the next Parliament to get rid of all discrimination, including in marriage, for same-sex couples. I come from the bush, and the other day I was out on the Darling Downs in Queensland with a whole lot of farmers who are concerned about their future. massive open-cut coal mines and coal seam gas operations, compromising their foodlands, their water, their future. The Greens are on the side of the farmers, but the big parties are on the side of the coal miners and the coal seam gas operations. Think about that as you go to the ballot box. A huge majority of Australians want our ancient forests and their wildlife protected. The Greens are the champions of the forests. It's action time, it's breakthrough time, and we Greens intend to carry into the next Parliament the resolution to put to an end the destruction of Australia's great wild forests and their wildlife. Biodiversity, that is the range of plant and animal species we have in this world, is critical. In fact, there's a UN report showing that not only critical for our feeling of well-being on the planet, but to the economy. The current loss of biodiversity could strip $3 to $4 trillion out of the global economy by the end of this century. The Greens are the antidote to that horrible outcome. Just here in Australia, I've moved in the Senate for an independent inquiry into the survival of our national icon, the koala. The government didn't want it. We'll continue to push to ensure that our native species, plants, animals, and in our marine areas are there for the enjoyment of future generations. Over the last 3 years, the Greens have shown how we can get better outcomes for this Parliament, time and again, on the environment, the economy, employment, education, health, all the big issues of the day. The Greens have been there to get a better outcome for you. We'll carry that into the next Parliament. I'm very excited about it. We're the Progressive Party in an increasingly conservative big party period of government. That means we give a special dividend to voters. We make sure it's more humane. We make sure Parliament works for better environmental outcomes. We make sure that Parliament looks to the future, to our children, to our grandchildren. That's the Greens in action. That's why I'm so excited about it. This election, vote Green.
Spoken by Bob Brown and Erin Farley, authorised by Ebony Bennett, Australian Greens, Canberra.